Hi, beloved viewers. Another action-packed week, and the deficit has gone through the roof on Trump's watch, and this has led to a couple of interesting developments. One of these is there's now a few more Republicans who have said they'll vote against Trump's emergency measure. So at least that means there's a handful of Republicans who have decided that they didn't want to live in a mutant monarchy with a mad king. They'd actually prefer to live in the United States, a republic. So that's progress, you'd have to think, inch by inch. But more importantly, and this was a sleeper, you might have missed it in the deluge of stuff that comes out daily. But remember the Koch brothers? I think there might only be one surviving Koch brother. But anyway, he has got together with other giants of capitalism, like we're talking seriously big business types, and they want to introduce a bipartisan legislation. They have been talking to Republicans, a bipartisan legislation to curb the presidential powers to introduce tariffs, because no other president ever dreamt about doing it quite like this in modern times. It has been done before and didn't work and led to the Great Depression. So they at least were awake in their history class. They are feeling it in the hip pocket. They are not happy bunnies. So for them to want that sort of legislation is massive. So that's interesting. In the meantime, what today's reading is about these 6 congressional inquiries that the Dems are doing. I can't get my head across any of them, really, to be perfectly honest, viewers. So I'm going to read on them collectively, like where will these investigations kind of go and what to expect. So I'm going to read them together. I'm using the Japaridze deck. That beautiful deck. All right, so let's see. With the Dems and all these congressional inquiries, what's going to happen with those? I'll do a general reading and then ask a couple of questions. A general reading. How's this going to play out? The Dem investigations. The Dem investigations. Oops, what fell out? The Page of Gardens, the Jester of Gardens, the Page of Pentacles. I'll just put some more cards out for you, but that's over the top. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so they know they're heading into a war over this. They get the actual war card. They've got 2 jesters or 2 pages. So this is, with this one, which is the equivalent of the Page of Discs, this is about the money. They're going to follow the money, obviously. But here we have the Page of Wands, keeping the fire, or alternatively, the arsonist. Now, I've referred to Trump recently as an arsonist, and then I think it was Brennan or someone else who's referred to him as an arsonist. That's interesting. So they're at the heart of this. They are trying, the Dems are trying to throw light on what is going on, but they're being met with fire also. Here you have the death card. It's certainly not going to be the death of the Dems, so you'd have to think it's going to be the death of, I'm not going to say the death of Trump, because, look, I digress, viewers. We all count down the days until there is a Trump-free world. But as I've tried to stress again and again, he's the symptom, not the cause. And so death, as in the death card, is often the end of a cycle. So it's like they are prepared to go to the nth degree to try and throw light on this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do, this is a different layout I'm experimenting with. I'm going to do 3 more cards over those 3 cards and see if we can find out a bit more information. So we have here, this is the 10 of Gardens, or the 10 of Pentacles. That's the intergenerational money. This is what they're looking at in terms of subpoenaing the demon spawn of the Mad Yeti. So this is talking specifically of them. They also get the 6 of Cups, which is a simpler time. So it's harking back to when things seem to have order and shape to them. It is the card of nostalgia, but I don't think in the context of these congressional inquiries you can talk about it as nostalgia, so therefore it has to relate to the card beside it here, right? So I think it's safe to say that the Trump adult criminal offspring, there's an element of regret for a simpler time before their father became president. Then there's the 5 of Cups, disappointment and loss. So as far as I'm concerned, even though there's 81 people about to be subpoenaed, these cards are speaking to the Trump offspring. I have a personal theory. I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but I think Mueller is very reluctant to subpoena the adult Trump children. Like, just as things unfold in the near future, I think they're in the sealed indictments. Don't forget, he's still got half a dozen, if not a lot more, sealed indictments. And I think that's what these conversations with Barr and others are about. I think that's what, not the hold up for the report, because I think the report in its entirety has a long way to go. Don't be surprised if there's an interim report. This would not surprise me at all. He's got so much to deal with that it would take 5 years, 8 years, 10 years to get through it. The country can't handle that, so I suspect there's going to be an interim report with enough for people to get their teeth into, and then that will lead to further investigations legally. But this is saying to me, and God, I'd love to be wrong, and see them arrested in the next few days or few weeks, but I think it is speaking about Don Jr., Ivanka, and Frodo. Okay. All right. Now, let's go again with a variation on that, because there is talk of people not complying, and I don't know what teeth congressional inquiry has for people who refuse to submit documents or plead the fifth. So my next question is about the stonewalling. Can we expect to see stonewalling with these inquiries? Complying with these inquiries. The 81 defendants. Oh, they're not defendants, they're not charged. Witnesses. And that includes Hope Hicks and all of those, going way back. And where's Kellyanne in all this? I should do an update. I did a series called Women Who Lie for Trump, which included Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kellyanne, Hope Hicks. In the meantime, Will there be stonewalling? Oh, that bloody Six of Cups again. Nostalgia. Well, the answer to that, you'd have to think, is there will definitely be some. This is people being asked to do something they don't want to do. Right, just look at the face of this. The Four of Swords, they're pulled back. They were all talking to lawyers night and day. What can they get away with doing and not doing? So there will be an element of that. Behind it is seeking a safer place. So moving to somewhere safer. So that could be in the form of rushing back to the office and shredding documents, but I think it might be too late for that. But they are looking for a safe place. Every one of these 81, I would venture to say, is thinking, why did I saddle myself with this man? So, moving back to a safer place. Underneath, the Stranger of Winds or the Knight of Swords. Some are plotting revenge in themselves, amongst themselves. So I think there's some very dark conversations being had here, right? There is the Four of Fire or the Four of Wands, diminished celebration. So people are celebrating, but not everyone's involved in the celebration, right? And these people certainly are not celebrating. Okay. So what I want to look at now is, because I think there's a lot of work being done too, because Muller's stuff is still behind the scenes, it's not in anyone's interest to keep duplicating material. So I know a lot of work is being done between the heads of the committees and probably with someone representing Muller, what they can talk about, what Muller doesn't want them to go near. There'd have to be that communication, surely, because you don't want to sort of take the steam away from him. But there's plenty to be going on with. So now my question is, in general, will these investigations yield fruit? Will these investigations yield fruit? Given that they've got to be very careful, they've also got to be careful not to exhaust the public as these inquiries unfold. But I think we're going to see many more of these amazing testimonies. So will it bear fruit for the Dems? Will these inquiries bear fruit? All right. Oh, nice, nice. I hope it stays nice. Oh, bless, bless, bless. Okay. Interesting, very interesting. So, what we have here is the Nine of Tides, or the Nine of Cups, the hopes and wishes. Right, hopes and wishes fulfilled. So overall, as a key answer to the question, yes. But these other cards are complex, so it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be just testimony win, testimony win. It's not like that. On top, this gives you an idea. It's very gladiatorial. The Nine of Wands, it's going to be a battle, an absolute battle. What's underneath it? The really strange stranger of winds again. So there's confusion and deceit, but it's also quite an antagonistic card. This is out front. The combat is out front. It's a spectacle. This is confrontation behind the scenes and for more vengeful motives. Okay, so people will be fighting this. There's the Five of Swords, excuse me, the Five of Swords too, the victories and losses. This is a mixed bag. It is very much a mixed bag. It can be victory at any price too. So I think there's going to be quite excruciating information come out. We mustn't forget, at its absolute core, they are doing what they were voted in to do, to look at this. But it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be pretty. Right? So we've got to remember too, everyone, this whole thing. I remember Kirsten Langston saying a year ago or more on Third Eye Champagne, it's going to be like this. It's not a clear-cut thing, and that's absolutely right. There's going to be days when there's fantastic news from our perspective, and then there's going to be other days where you think, oh no, he's just announced some other craziness, you know. And it's like that. It has to play out, and the end of it all is about how the American people respond. So please don't succumb to the gaslighting. It's exhausting. The gaslighting is exhausting. And so please keep your energy up. I'm hoping to see the summer of protest in America. The GOP will respond once. I think it's a pincer movement between big money. Big money is very worried and they're not happy about Trump. They got their tax cuts, but it's not enough. They are losing zillions and they're not happy. That's one arm of the pincer movement. The other is when the public says no more, we will not tolerate this delusional stuff. That CPAC speech, was it not? It'll be shown in psychology classes for the next 80 years as an example of the Mad King. So please, everyone, keep your energy up, keep those comments rolling in. The Dems are fighting the good fight. It can't be easy. It won't be easy, but they'll get there in the end. So blessings from down under. See you soon. Ciao for now.